Hey there, planners. Today I am setting up the month of March 2021 in my A5 Stalogy bullet journal. And I'm coming off a no-spend month, which means most of my materials, if not all of them, are I made or I pulled from my stash and am really going minimal this month. So go grab your planners and let's get planning. All right, so I have definitely been shopping my stash this past month as I've been on a no spend, and I'm going to be using a lot of materials that I already have or that I made. So this little guy is going to be my cover page, and I'm just going to put him right down on the page here. This is a piece of vellum and an image that I made in Canva. So I found this succulent, potted succulent in Pixabay, which is a great place for copyright-free images, and I pulled it over into Canva and then added in the March 2021. I have done several videos now on how I use free images from Pixabay along with Canva to make, stickers and vellums and a lot of different accessories for my planner. So I will link those below in the description box, but I really do encourage you, if you are trying to save resources and do a little DIY on your planner, I highly encourage you to go check those resources out because they are fantastic for making your own. This little guy is really wanting to curl right now, and I know that sometimes that happens when I print on vellum, and that's definitely going to work itself out with time. So as it gets in the planner and it sits there under the weight of the other pages, it will definitely flatten out. I've had that happen before, but just using a little bit of this quickie glue pen from Sakura. This is a fantastic little handy tool here that I use quite a bit in my planner. So we'll see how that goes. So that's down, and that's my cover. This gives you an indication of what the theme is for the month of March for me, and that is succulents. It's spring, things are starting to turn green again. I love cacti and succulents, and so that is going to be showing up a lot in my monthly setup. So for my monthly calendar, I'm using one that you all are very familiar with, and this is from Scattered Squirrel. This is one of my favorite free printables, and of course I'll have that listed in the description box below, but I also will link up above the video that I did on all of my favorite sources for free printables. There are just so many, and I love using printables in my planner. It saves me time, and there are just so many wonderful tools out there for free. There's a lot of paid options as well. However, I like free, and especially on a month like I've just been on, which is a no-spend month, where I was really looking for all free items for my planner. And so it's been an interesting month of February. You don't realize how much you spend or how much you don't think about spending until you go through a no-spend month. This was my very first no-spend month. I won't say I was 100% successful, but I certainly spent a lot less than just in a regular month. So I'm glad it's done. I'm glad I did it, but I'm also really glad it's done. I was tempted to, do what I normally do and get materials in preparation for my bullet journal setup this month, but I decided, no, I'm really going to stick with the theme and see it through and go ahead and do a no-spend version of a monthly setup. I'm also going to do the daily pages because I have some exciting stickers and kits to share with you for that, in keeping with the no-spend theme. So I've used a little bit of washi. Honestly, I've had this washi for so long, I'm not even sure where I got it. I believe it came from Amazon in a pack of succulent stickers that I'll just show you here. And you're going to be seeing these show up in this monthly setup. So here's my weekly, here's my monthly calendar. I do have this page full of succulent stickers that I'm going to be using throughout this setup. These are actually stickers that I made using images from Pixabay, putting them together in Canva, and then cutting them out with the Cricut Access. I have a video all about this process and how you can make a lot of really fun stickers either with a Cricut or without a Cricut, and I'll link that up above and down in the description box below. But it just really opens up a lot, you know, when you are getting ready, trying to save some money and, you know, have the time or just want to personalize your planner. So my monthly calendar is where it's sort of my master calendar. This is where I keep, you know, everything that's coming for my family. So I will come in here after I get the whole month set up and using my checklist for monthly planning. From my reference notebook, I will go ahead and set this up. If you are interested in getting access to these checklists, come over and join the Planning Annie Facebook group. I've got copies of those to download from the Facebook group, and it's just a really fun group to be part of. You can hang out with a bunch of other planner geeks, type A personalities who are crazy about planning. All right, so here's the monthly calendar. I'm gonna flip over to the next page. All right, for this next spread, I am using a printable from Peanuts Planner Co. This is my monthly meal plan, and I have come to really rely on this monthly meal plan. It's so fun to go back and see what we ate, get ideas, figure out what my family actually hates, and make sure we're not making that again. And so this has been a really great addition over the past few months to my bullet journal. I love this printable from Peanuts Planner Co. as well. It's just a great size, and you have a lot of flexibility about the size that you use when you print it out because you can adjust the printed size. So I'm really enjoying this as well. Keeping it very simple. This is one of my more simple spreads, and I come in here couple times a month and just go ahead and plan ahead for a few weeks. And then this is also what I reference when I'm grocery shopping, when I'm planning, you know, kind of around the family schedule. I'll take a look at the calendar and what's going on, and then come here and make the plans for our meals. So I think I'm actually going to pull this cute little guy. How cute is that sticker? All right, so that's the monthly meal plan. Now, one thing I will say, this monthly setup is going to be a bit more minimal than some of my previous monthly setups because I recently introduced the Hobonichi Cousin into my planning schedule, and this is where I am memory keeping. What I have kept in here in the past, I've changed up a little bit. So for example, normally I would have a weather tracker in here, but I am now tracking the weather in the Hobonichi Cousins as part of memory planning because that's really how why I wanted to use the weather anyway. So let me add just a little bit more color to this calendar using my Tombow dual brush pens. And I think that is ready to go. All right, this next spread is a little mini calendar. And this is from Printables and Inspirations. And this is where I jot down a quick reference guide for the Planning Annie YouTube channel. So I keep my posting schedule jotted down in here just so I know what's coming up when, and also so that I can plan our master calendar and make sure those line up. So if I need to film or edit, I'm planning that into my schedule. I do have a whole other planner for my YouTube channel, and really it could be applicable to any side hustle that you have going on. I'll link that up above and down in the description box below. For this page, I am going to do a condensed version of a brain dump, and I'm just going to put that here and use this space for goal planning, any brain dump ideas, any, jotted down list, just a single space for anything that comes up through the month, things I need to remember for next month, things like that. That's what this space will be for. So while I'm setting this up, I would love to hear how's everybody doing in their planners. Are you making any changes for spring? Are you excited about spring? What kind of themes are you using? I would love to hear just some general feedback on how your planning is going. You know, a lot of times by the time we get to the third month in the year, we're making changes to the planner system that we set up in the beginning of the year, or even at the end of last year. 3 months in sometimes is when you see a system or part of a system will or will not work for you. So I'm really interested to know, is anybody experiencing that in their planner system? And are you making any tweaks? You know, for me, I ended up adding a new planner. I ended up adding the Hobonichi Cousins as a memory keeper. So that's been an interesting addition, and definitely not something I expected at the beginning of the year. All right, so this is all set up, and actually this completes my setup for my monthly pages. But I'm going to go ahead and flip over and talk to you about my daily pages, because I do have something really interesting to share. So normally on my daily pages, I like to use kits from different shops. You all know I'm a huge fan of Planner Kate. I use her kits all the time. But I've been on a no spend, so I couldn't do that. So I decided to create my own sticker kits. I took a lot of measurements of the planner and, you know, kind of looked at what are the parts and pieces of weekly kits that I actually use when I purchase them. And then I made some weekly kits. So I'm super excited to use these in my planner this month. And I've got 4 kits for the four weeks of March. And you can see they're all succulent themed with, you know, similar color schemes. I'm super excited to use these. You know, here's the thing. I love using sticker kits, but, you know, the cost, I mean, they're pretty expensive. I recently got a Cricut at the beginning of the year and have really been playing around with making stickers in the Cricut. If you are interested in learning more about this, how to do this, and you don't necessarily have to have a Cricut. A Cricut is great because it actually cuts the stickers out, and, you know, so that you can just peel them up like a regular sticker sheet. But you don't have to do that. You can actually just cut them out with scissors and peel the backing off. If you're interested in learning about how to make stickers with or without a Cricut, go check out the video linked above or down in the description box to see a kind of a step-by-step guide on how you can use some really awesome free tools to make these stickers. The only thing that would cost you is the paper and the ink that you use to print. So I'm going to be setting up the first week of the month. I believe I'm going to use this kit because I just love these colors. I think it's a great introduction to the month. So I spent a lot of time thinking about how my bullet journal would be different now that I've introduced the Hobonichi Cousins, because this bullet journal and my personal bullet journal in the past has always been sort of a combination between memory keeping and daily planning, and separating that out meant that I really had to rethink how I was going to use both of those elements. So I would love to hear from others if you use a memory keeper and a daily planner like a bullet journal. How do you separate the two items? How do you keep from repeating things that you use in that you put in each of the planners? I actually sat down, as you know, you all have seen me do before. I love mind maps. I sat down with a mind map and went through exactly what I wanted to use each planner for and what I wanted to go in each planner. And so that really helped me map. I'm not really changing the setup too much of the actual bullet journal, but the way I use this space is going to be a little bit different. I'm not going to spend as much time journaling in here as much as just jotting down notes of things that I want to make sure gets included in my memory keeping journal. That way I don't miss anything, because I do not see myself going into that memory keeping journal every single day. It's probably going to be a once a week activity, like a Sunday activity that I'm spending time doing and kind of catching up and just keeping all the memories, putting all the memories in there once a week. So I am changing how I'm using the spaces, but I'm not really changing the spaces that much. I'm still going to keep my Bible verse of the day here. I'm still going to keep my to-dos on the left-hand side. I'm still going to, you know, keep journaling here and, you know, kind of a record of what happened that day. But it's going to be a little bit more condensed. So I am using these stickers. These are from Planner Kate, and they are the date header stickers. I love these. I love them in black because that just seems to go with everything in my planner, no matter what color scheme or stickers I'm using. So these are really handy, and you do get a bunch of extra numbers because you're not going to be using all those numbers every time. I think for this first week, and maybe for every week, I'd like to include just a little mini calendar on Monday with the week that we're in highlighted. I've found that I've been wanting to see that as I'm going through each of the weeks, just as a really quick reference. So I've added in this little mini calendar, which is super simple to make in Canva. And I can see a lot of other uses for this as well. All right, I'm going to keep my little to-do list exactly the same as I have in the past. And I even made these little tiny dot stickers. So they're a bit difficult to manage. So I've broken out my little tweezers. These tweezers are so handy. They're crafting tweezers. I think I got them off Amazon, but I absolutely love them when I'm dealing with tiny little stickers. They are fantastic to use for that. All right, the other thing I'm super happy about being able to make are functional boxes, because I obviously use these quite a bit. As I think we all do, and it is just, you know, they can be really expensive, and it is really nice to be able to use to make your own functional boxes. So this is the setup of my daily pages. Again, setup looks the same. The way I'm using it is going to be a little bit different. If I think about how I'm using the Hobonichi memory planner versus my bullet journal. My bullet journal is sort of pre-planning. So I'm looking ahead and managing what I'm going to do and what is actually happening on the day. The Hobonichi Cousins is a look back and a memory of a capturing of what actually happened in my life, in my family's life, and then also a little bit broader. I like to capture, you know, news headlines, things like weather, things like that. So that's really the difference between my two planners. So I hope you enjoyed the setup video and got some value out of it. If so, please give me a thumbs up and let me know. Subscribe to Planning Annie for more content like this. As always, thanks for planning with me.